never let the fear of striking out stop you from playing the game. Namaskar, welcome to Daily PT Pointers. And in this video, we are going to cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, Press Information Bureau, and Live Mint. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And our first important headline is related to Bihar caste survey. And ये न्यूज में भी इसलिए है क्योंकि recently Supreme Court refused to stay the uploading of data collected in Bihar caste based survey. Now let's know more about the survey. So friends, in June 2022, Bihar government issued a notification to conduct caste-based survey at an estimate cost of 500 crore. And in January 2023, state government launched a two-phase caste survey in Bihar. And according to state government, detailed information on socio-economic conditions would help create better government policies for disadvantaged groups, and survey will also record economic status of families alongside their caste. And earlier Patna High Court dismissed petitions claiming that state had no competence to conduct the survey. And do you know friends, last census that officially collected full caste data was in 1931. Now recently Reserve Bank of India issued fresh guidelines to regulated entities such as commercial and other banks, non-banking financial companies and other lenders to ensure reasonableness and transparency in disclosure of penal interest. And RBI issued guidelines because it has been observed that many regulated entities use penal rates of interest over and above the applicable interest rates in case of defaults, non-compliance by the borrowers with the terms on which credit facilities were sanctioned. RBI stated that intent of levying penal interest or charges is essentially to inculcate a sense of credit discipline, and such charges are not meant to be used as revenue enhancement tool over and above the contracted rate of interest. Regulated entities have been asked not to introduce any additional component to the rate of interest and ensure compliance to these guidelines in a letter and spirit. Regulated entities shall formulate a board-approved policy on penal charges or similar charges on loans by whatever name called. And do you know friends, these instructions will not apply to credit cards, external commercial borrowings, trade credits, structured obligations, which are covered under product-specific directions. And these instructions will come into effect from January 1st, 2024. Our next headline is related to Dayanand Saraswati. Maharishi's Dayanand Saraswati was born on 12th February 1824. He was a social reformer and played key role in cultural and social awakening of the country. He founded Arya Samaj in 1875 to counter social inequities prevalent during the times. And do you know friends, government has formed a high-level committee headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to mark 200th birth anniversary of Dayanand Saraswati, and among its members are a host of union ministers, state governors, senior officials from various departments and office bearers of the Arya Samaj organization. Now recently US President Joe Biden hosted Japanese Prime Minister and South Korean President for their first ever joint summit at Camp David. And do you know friends, Camp David is a site that American presidents have used historically to host foreign leaders. It is located 96 kilometers away from the United States of America's capital, Washington, D.C. It was originally built as camp for federal employees and their families, and it was completed in 1938. And at the recent summit at Camp David, US, Japan and South Korea agreed to new security pledge, committing three countries to consult with each other in the event of a security crisis or threat in the Pacific. Our next headline is related to 3D printing, and ये न्यूज में भी इसलिए है क्योंकि रिसेंटली इंडिया का फर्स्ट 3D प्रिंटेड पोस्ट ऑफिस इनॉग्रेट किया गया है बेंगलुरु में. नाउ लेट्स नो मोर अबाउट 3D प्रिंटिंग. तो फ्रेंड्स, इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज एडिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, एंड ये प्रोसेस है जो कि यूज करता है कंप्यूटर क्रिएटेड डिजाइन को टू मेक 3 डायमेंशनल ऑब्जेक्ट्स लेयर बाय लेयर. ये एक एडिटिव प्रोसेस है इन विच layers of a material like plastic, composites or biomaterials are built up to construct objects that range in shape, size, rigidity, and color. Now let's look at the applications of 3D printing. So friends, it is being used in a host of different industries like healthcare, automobile, and aerospace. And in May this year, aerospace manufacturing company Relativity Space launched a test rocket made entirely from 3D printed parts. And at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the healthcare industry used 3D printers to make much needed medical equipment like swabs, face shields, and masks, as well as parts to fix their ventilators. Now, recently, Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority, in partnership with National Council of Applied Economic Research, conducted a webinar under theme Investor Protection Framework in India, Challenges and Road Ahead. Now let's know more about these institutions. So friends, Investor Education Protection Fund Authority set up हुआ था 2016 में under the aegis of Ministry of Corporate Affairs for administering the Investors Education and Protection Fund for making refunds of share, unclaimed dividends, and mature deposits or debentures, among other things, to investors. And National Council of Applied Economic Research is India's oldest and largest independent economic think tank, and ये set up हुआ था 1956 में to inform policy choices for both the public and private sectors. And do you know friends, it is one of few independent think tanks worldwide that combines rigorous economic analysis and policy outreach with deep data collection capabilities, particularly for large-scale household surveys. Our next headline is related to Pradhan Mantri Dhan Yojana, जो कि लॉन्च हुई थी 2014 में, and it has completed almost 9 years. And its major features are it offers bank account without requirement of minimum balance, free of cost rupee debit cards with inbuilt accident insurance of 2 lakh and overdraft facility of up to 10,000. And do you know friends, as per latest reports submitted by banks, the total number of Jan Dhan accounts have crossed 50 crore, and out of these accounts, 56% accounts belong to women and 67% accounts have been opened in rural or semi-urban areas. Our next headline is related to Sadbhavana Diwas. And do you know friends, the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister late Shri Rajiv Gandhi is observed as Sadbhavana Diwas on 20th August every year. It is observed to promote national integration and communal harmony among people of all religions, language and regions. Our next headline is related to Global Initiative on Digital Health, जिसके लिए इंडिया कोलैबोरेट कर रहा है वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से। आज यानी कि 19 अगस्त को लॉन्च किया जाएगा as a part of ongoing G20 summit in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and it is the first of its kind global initiative which is aimed at data converge interface of health platforms and investments in digital health space around the globe. It will bring together various digital health initiatives on common platform. Our next and last headline is related to World Humanitarian Day, which is being observed today. An origin of the day can be traced back to August 19, 2003, when a massive bomb attack targeted the United Nations headquarters in Baghdad in Iraq, resulting in the deaths of 22 people, including UN Special Representative for Iraq. And in 2008, United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution designating 19 August as World Humanitarian Day to honor the memory of those who lost their lives in Baghdad bombing. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.